everyone, and welcome back to another dev stream. So my name is Pyrit, I'm the community manager for Vigor, and I'm here with Pettka, our project lead. And today we have quite a few exciting news for you, as you already know. So just let me know in the chat who is already watching. We are going to wait for a little while for others to join in for the stream. And obviously our today's topic is going to be our next major update, which is going to be really, really huge. So first of all, we are going to have a look at all of the things that we are going to add as a part of our next update. So I'm going to show you right now. So you should see it on the screen. We have it right here. So we are going to add new weapons, which is incredible, and we are going to show you in a few minutes. There are also going to be scopes, which we are going to keep as a secret for now, but they are going to be there, and we are going to talk about them a little bit.
Like we need something for the next stream.
Yeah, exactly. The shooting is going to be improved. The shelter builder is expanded, which Pettka talked about a little bit in his last stream. Am I right?
Exactly.
And then there is going to be a new crafting system, or it's reworked, not brand new. There are going to be new weather in levels, which is really awesome, and I'm going to show you in a few minutes. Rarity of items have been added, and there is improved animation system and improved tutorial onboarding.
Added to that, like most of the areas that you already know have been improved. Like for example, the levels. The level designers have put a lot of effort into making them even better. So you've seen something during the last stream, but we are going to provide you with some details today.
Exactly. So we were, you know, running around the destroyed houses and stuff like that, and people seem to really like it. So we are going to show you a little bit more today. So hope you had the time to check everything we have on the list, and we can jump right to the game. So right now, Pettka is going to show you the new weapons that are going to be available in the next update.
Like I'm going to show you just two of them today. That's the G3 and the SVU. Those two, as you can see, are marked in different color. That's the rarity. So G3 is uncommon, while SVU is special issue. So it's really rare and really hard to get. And as you can even see, this is the base of new UI for crafting and for equipment. So this is how it's going to look like. And let's head out to the shooting range then.
Let's see it in action.
So now I have the G3. You may have registered that the animations look different. There's the reload animation and ready to shoot.
So this is one of the other improvements. That the animation have been, you know, polished and stuff like that. Added a few new. So what do you guys think so far? Let us know in the chat, because we would love to know. Someone is saying, nice change to the shooting range. Yeah, exactly. It looks awesome. And yeah, let's see. It moves a lot. Well, it should, I guess.
It's shooting. Like the weapon actually kicks a lot. Like the SVU, the magazine that it uses or the ammunition, it's really strong, really powerful. So
it's like realistic. It's fast and strong, but realistic. So here you go. Looks like witchcraft. I like it. Well, what can I say? Looks really cool. Loving the shooting range, but thank you very much, Bobby Sanchez. Thank you so much. This is like always the nightmare while saying the names of the people on the Twitch and Mixer and stuff like that, because, you know, I'm always so scared that I'm going to mispronounce them, and sometimes they are not even pronounceable, really.
Like one thing that I would possibly like to show to you is the new map. Like finally you see the names of the maps on the map.
On the map. That is really cool.
Of the levels. And there is a quick look on the tree in the shelter of the shelter builder. Yeah, so this is going to be improved. Like the update is going to bring you more levels to go through, more levels of improvement. So a lot of things that you can possibly investigate on your own.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
And the whole shelter has been, improved, as you can see.
Yeah.
Looks really nice.
Like, keep in mind that what we are showing to you is currently a dev build, so there are some diagnostic stuff like that that are just for us, for the developers, to make the game better during the development. Yeah, and I can possibly even show you a level or two. Yeah, so as you can see, now this is the train station.
Okay.
But it looks a bit different.
Yeah, it looks so. Do your magic, or I can even like.
Yeah, this is the talk station. My bad. I'm sorry for that. But yeah, I hope that it answers even. Yeah, like you can see different areas of the level being marked
Yeah,
for
really
the
awesome.
development
Looks
purpose,
cool.
and yeah.
So you guys can see how the game is made, basically. So
Yeah.
hopefully you are enjoying it. Are we keeping progress on the base? Well, this is a question that we get quite a lot, and you have to understand that while doing major updates, sometimes we have to do certain vibes, but it's for your own good. But be aware that we won't do any vibes if they are not absolutely necessary. So that's about it.
Yeah, like the thing is that we are still deciding on what do we need to remove and what kinds of persistence or what types of items are you able to still maintain, because for example with the items there are new guns, so you may be possibly even able to get some of the old ones, because most of the players would be still going for the new ones. On the other hand, as you've seen, the new shelter builder, you may have noticed that it's completely different. So keeping the old improvements that you've already got before doesn't make any sense, because some of them are not even existing anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And right now I'm seeing something interesting in the chat, because what we forgot to tell you, I'm just going to add the list of the things that we are adding in the update to the screen, is the date. So you can expect the update at the end of October.
Exactly.
Actually, so there is no exact hour or something, but you can say that it is really close, because it's less than a month away. So hopefully you guys are really excited.
Yep.
Oh, someone is telling us that that is too far. Believe me, it's not too far. It's like it always seems like such a short period of time for everyone in the development, when we actually realize how much has to be done before the update.
Yeah.
So
the thing is that we are still going to support even the current version of the game. Meanwhile, you may have noticed that last week there was the update that added, for example, squeaking of the doors. So yeah, if you open the doors, you actually hear that. We are going to do even some more of those small updates, while the main force of the team is fully focused on developing this update 0.6.
Exactly. And we have really nice question in the chat. Is the timer in the top left always going to be there, or is it just for the stream or just for the development?
It's definitely just for the development. As you can see by the pink color, it's something that is not going to stay. Generally speaking, if you encounter something in pink, it's most likely just the debug message that we use. Because when it's pink, it's easy to see for us that it's something completely out of ordinary.
Yeah, exactly. So here you have it. This is how games are made. Are you adding footsteps? No, they are not definitely planned in the next update. So as far as I can tell.
There are two things. One of them is the actual sound of the footsteps that's going to be improved.
Yeah.
On the other hand, the footsteps themselves, the footprints, they are not going to be there for a time because we are still investigating some issue with that. So that's something that we would need to double check and make sure that it works actually correctly, because we had some issues with that.
Yeah, exactly. So we can already kind of tell that the maps look really different.
Yeah.
Like there are slight changes, but the atmosphere is really different, and the weather in the maps is also the other thing that is going to be changed in the next update. So I'm going to show you in a while how exactly the difference looks, and it's incredible. So guys, if you have any questions, put them in the chat right now, because right now I have free hands and I have time to answer them.
Like one thing that you may have noticed is that on the map there are those markers of discovered things, so you can discover the map and get yourself to know the maps better. So those are like points of interest. Like here I am on the camp, so that's something that should help you players to know the maps better and possibly communicate with others. Yeah, I found a great loot at the camp or at the dock station somewhere. Yeah, so those are the points that are going to be available for you.
Yeah. Do we know exact number of the new weapons that are going to be added as a part of the update?
Well, I know the number, I'm not going to share that with you yet.
Okay, so you gotta be patient.
Eventually, you are going to see all of them on our social networks, stuff like that, and some of them are going to be kept secret until the release. So
yeah, that is actually really nice.
Surprise for you.
Okay. And yeah, people are really excited about the scopes, which I can agree. Yeah, we get those questions quite a lot. So scopes are coming finally, end of October. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Like I'm not going to show you the scopes now because in this particular build it doesn't work. Like it worked yesterday, it doesn't work today. That's the development at its finest. On the other hand, with the scopes, there's one thing that's been addressed several times by the community, and that's the view distance that you are able to see on. So this is something that's going to be improved. Like if you have some stronger scope, for example, then you are obviously going to see much farther. And we are even improving that for the base weapons. So there should be no issue like someone disappears in a mist, unless there's actually the fog.
Yeah, exactly. Interesting question. When you say new weather, does that mean that the maps will have specific weather type, or will the weather change? Well, that is the thing.
Well, it's actually pretty easy because at the beginning of the encounter, there's going to be one of the weather presets picked for the map, and there are several of them for each map. This dock station, you can see it now while snowing, but there are even presets with the sunshine, stuff like that. So every encounter is going to be a bit different, or at least from the pre-selected presets. So you don't know exactly if you are heading to dock station if it's going to be sunshine or if it's going to be rain that time.
Yeah, exactly. I can even show you the exact difference. I'm just going to stop Pettka for a bit because right now you can see that here is, this is Grundheim, I believe. While, sun is shining and then it changes and weather, and the atmosphere is completely different. So you can really see the change when the weather changes. So this is answering your question. And let's jump back to the game. So guys, how do you like it? How did you enjoy that? Because, we would love to know. And people are excited about it. So thank you so much, guys. Let's see. When will you add female playable characters? So they are not going to be in the next update, but they are definitely coming. There are still things that we have to work on.
Well, they are humans, not the things, but yeah,
yeah, exactly.
I understand what you mean. We would like to add them as soon as possible, but still there's a lot of work that we need to do, like enhance the models, enhance the animations, because obviously women and men move in different way a bit. So this is something that we need to address, and that takes time. Yeah. So most likely you may expect to see a handful of women for the free-to-play release in February. Hopefully there may be some of them a bit sooner, but don't count on that.
Yeah, exactly. So here you have your answer, guys. And any questions, put them in the chat. We would love to see them. So do we make a new character if we want to play a female, or can we edit our current character? That is a nice question, but I don't think that...
You are actually going to have just one character. So at the very beginning, you may possibly remember that during the tutorial, you choose how your skin looks like the head and the tone of the skin. So while doing that, you are even going to choose if you are going to go for men or women, and based on that, you are going to get what you wanted. Yeah.
Okay. And someone is once again asking what is going to be in the next update. So I'm just going to add the list to the screen so you can read it through. And let's see.
Yeah. Like as you can see, I've reloaded the map, reloaded the level into a different encounter, and it looks completely different without the snow, without the snowstorm. Like everything's serene and calm.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, the snow maps, it's kind of confusing. You know, while there's still the snow, so the difference is not so obvious as in the other maps. But as you can see right now, it's much easier to, you know, navigate in the map and stuff like that. So let's see. And obviously, we have a few questions regarding the duos. And it is something that it is really hard to make. It requires a lot of work, a lot of testing, and a lot of fixing. So we are working on it really hard, but we cannot promise anything for now, no exact date. But we are working on it, and it's coming.
Yeah, like what's our progress on that is that we are first going to release just some bare bones, like you are going to have the possibility to have the party, to join the encounters together, and when you are in the encounters, you are going to spawn at the same place. On the other hand, there's not going to be any other means for you to actually do some deeper cooperation during the encounters. Like you can still use the voice communication which is built in the Xbox service. On the other hand, that's everything that you have in common. Like you are not going to see each other on the map or something like that. Those are the things that you need to manage with someone you are in the group.
Okay. Someone is asking if we can show them the upgrades for the shelter, which we can once we get back to the shelter.
Yeah.
Definitely. So how many people will you let team up? So we are going to start with duos, and then we will see. So only 2 people, you know, for the start. And
yeah, like based on your feedback, we are going to prioritize the things that need to be done. So indeed, most of the things are going to take some time to properly develop. But like we are going to start with the, let's say, bare bones system, and then we are going to add things that we assume based on your feedback that's going to be the best for the game.
Someone is asking about the improved crafting system, if we can talk about it a little more, maybe show a little bit.
Yeah, so that would require me to go to the shelter, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm not sure
we can wait. It doesn't have to be, you know, right now. But it's
like generally speaking, the biggest change for you is going to be in the way that you craft the weapons, because currently you just have the weapons, and you can deconstruct them into the parts. And as you have the parts already, you are able to get the blueprint based on that. Like there's some randomization, so some of you may have experienced that. Yeah, I have like a ton of part 2 for the weapon while not having any part 3, so I'm not able to make the blueprint. This is going to be a bit different in the next update because those parts are going to be used just to craft the weapons. Like we are not going to obtain the blueprint by deconstructing the weapons to the parts. There's going to be different items for you that are going to be parts of the blueprint itself, and those are going to be completely separate. You are going to get them in the levels. And there's one more thing that's added, and that's the necessity for you. If you want to craft the weapon, you have to have the blueprint. That's one thing. And the other thing is that you need to have the proper tools. And by tools, I mean that you need to have your shelter improved. Like the crafting station needs to be on certain level. So that's going to provide you with the opportunity to craft better weapons once you have blueprints for them.
Yeah, so hopefully this was enough for you. And people are also talking about in the chat about the plane, which is something that basically started with the picture that we posted on our social media, where there is the destroyed plane on the map. And people were actually asking if we are planning to add like a visual when the airdrop is coming, if there is going to be a plane or even a plane crash, which is something, the plane crash, I don't think that there ever will be, because the plane is not crashing when the airdrop comes in, basically. But they are basically asking if we are ever going to add like visual to the audio sound like of the plane coming.
That's something that we are considering. We even have the model ready for that. So that's something that should be doable for us. On the other hand, it's still the question of the game performance and stuff like that. Like definitely we would need to double check if it's making the game more believable, like more authentic, which I think it is. And based on that, based on some testing, we are either going to add it or not.
Someone is saying, it seems like you are taking all the feedback and considering it, which is a step in the right direction. There are a lot of developers out there that ignore the player base. So kudos, keep it up.
Well, thanks a lot.
That is lovely. Thank you so much. And let's see, people were obviously also asking about the wildlife, which is also something that we always address, that we are thinking about it. We also think it is a really neat idea, but you know, there are still so many things that we have to consider first. So that's about it. But this was actually really cool, because when I was posting the picture with the plane, I asked people to add like things they would love to see in the maps, and there were so many interesting ideas. Like really, I loved it, and we are definitely going to address them in the future because they are incredible. Someone is still asking about saving the sensitivity settings, which is something that I believe should be fixed by now.
Absolutely. We actually fixed that in the update last week. If it's not working for you, please just let us know, because that's something that we would definitely need to address.
Yeah, like the absolutely perfect way of letting us know is to put it on our forum. And along with your gamertag, or DM us with the gamertag, so we can really look into this particular issue, because it shouldn't happen anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so let's see. Right now we are going to look a little bit in the crafting and stuff like that, and in the shelter upgrades.
So as you can see now, there are the things that don't require any level of your crafting table. They are marked as level 0, and as I now have the first level of the crafting table, I am able to craft several weapons, but I'm not able to craft the other weapons. And the other thing that is necessary for you, that you need to have the blueprint, the plan. So if you want to craft the weapons, there are actually 2 ways how to do that. One of them is that you have enough parts of the weapon and you can craft it, and those parts are available in the levels. And the other way is that you have the blueprint and that you have the crafting table on high enough level, and that's going to allow you to craft it for materials.
Yeah, that's really neat. So you guys heard it. It's gonna be really cool. Someone is asking if the new messy house interiors are going to make it into the update.
Like, as you can see,
Yeah, clearly they are going to be there. Yes.
Yeah, like even the shutter, but even the interiors in the levels are going to get some more visual polish. Like, the artists have done amazing work in that regard, and as you can see in the shutter, there's plenty of things that.
Yeah, it looks incredible, and people really enjoyed the screenshot that was done at this place. You know,
Yeah.
so. Many things are coming, guys. Many things are coming. Are emotes going to be added to talk to people soon?
That's something that we are considering. The thing is that we are pretty tight on the manpower in that regard, because as you may have seen, there is a completely redone animation system, and that means that we are fixing, polishing those things, while Anton, who's responsible for that, would be possibly adding even the gestures. So the thing is that obviously he cannot do both at the same time. So we are now rather focusing on the movement than adding the gestures.
Yeah.
Like, the gestures are going to be added, but we hope that it may be possibly later in 0.6 or something like that. But it may be that it's going to be like later in 0.7 or something like that.
Okay, really cool. So is there anything else we would love to show them in like the newest version of the game?
Like,
I don't really know.
Like, there's a plenty of things, but I would rather have something
left definitely.
out.
We should keep some secrets, you know, just so the guys can be excited. One thing that I wanted to show you is actually one of the new weapons, which I have a really cool screenshot of, which is like the guy, you know, staying in front of the shelter, and he has the G3 at his back, so. Looks kind of cool. I really enjoy it. And also that there is the tomato like on his back. It looks really cool, like the cooking timer, which I have right here. Some of you may have seen those in real life at Gamescom and stuff like that, because we tend to take them with us.
Yep.
And some people were even lucky enough to get those. So
Exactly.
Anyway, so I think that I can jump to the actual version of the game.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I've seen a good question. If the maps or the loot on the maps has been rebalanced, that's part of putting the new things into the maps. The loot's going to be rebalanced a lot. There are going to be several things, and I hope that Loki would be able to speak about them more, for example, on the next stream. Because one of the things is that there is going to be a lot less weapons in the levels, so you need to make them and prepare them for you way ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start image making, and I'm going to take a little while to look at the chat, or maybe actually there was a new thing added before this stream that we have added to our forum. There is always going to be a thread from now on with questions where you can put your questions before the live stream to make sure that we are going to address them all.
Yeah.
And this is the first question that we got on our forum, as by Goblin SD, or David, as you can see. So, first question: do you have any plans on increasing the sign range?
That's something that I've already mentioned. So the good thing is that as we are going to add the scopes, we've even developed the technology for increasing the distance that you can see your targets on. So, for example, nowadays it's pretty close, but it's going to be much further. So even if you don't have the scope on your weapon, you are still going to see the other players on much bigger distance.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, will there be any limited special events within the game to keep the community excited?
We are thinking about things like that. Like one of the things is that we realized that with the release of 0.5, we didn't have much of things prepared in between of the updates. So now there's going to be some groundworks of the new things even in 0.6, and during the update, like during the time when update is going to be out, we are going to add more things into the game. So we've just changed the way the data is maintained in that regard. So it's much easier for us to add more things. So for example, you are going to see more things in the levels or in the encounters that are going to appear sometimes during the update. Some of them may be there to stay, some of them may be there just for a while.
Okay.
And that all depends on the feedback.
Exactly. So let's move on. Will there be any sort of achievement system?
Indeed, we are planning to add the achievements, and there's plenty of them that we can think of. On the other hand, during the development of the game preview, we don't want to have the achievements there because once the achievements are in the game, they are going to stay. Otherwise, people would be pretty unhappy, and we would need to solve that somehow.
Yes.
So we can expect plenty of achievements for the actual release of the game.
Okay. Do you have any future plans for more maps? Absolutely.
Yeah. Like currently there are 6 maps to play on. We are preparing like 4 or 5 more, and we are going to add them. But like preparing the map is not as easy as it seems. Like it takes enormous amount of time, and the level designers are both working on the current maps and working on the new ones.
Well.
Yeah.
Well, that's about it. Okay, guys, that's about it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The thing is that Pyrit is a good shoot normally, but in 0.5 she's used to play 0.6 already, like the development build, and it's much easier to shoot there.
Well,
at least for me.
Well, yeah, it is, and it's actually part of the update. So you guys are going to experience that too. So sorry about that.
Yeah. Like
but I'm going to stop you for a minute. I just wanted to take a look around the shelter, which you have just now saw the new shelter.
Yeah.
So just wanted to show you the insides, that they are really different. And that's about it. You can continue.
Yeah, like the thing is that the shooting is not going to be easier, but it's rather going to be more intuitive, I would say. Like things that you were used to do are going to be just a bit more intuitive, and like things like managing recoil is going to be possibly even easier for you as you are used to that.
Yeah, exactly. And we have more. Do you guys think the game will benefit from a scoreboard system?
That's something that we are considering. Like, for example, you see the shooting range, yeah. So there could be some leaderboards for the shooting range, like if there are some challenges, something like that. That's one of the things that we are considering. The question is if we are going to make it earlier or later, yeah. Because we definitely need to think about what are the priorities.
Yeah, exactly. And we are slowly getting to the end of this really long but lovely comment. Is there a trading system planned? That is something we address in almost every stream.
Yeah, like currently there are no solid plans for the trading systems. There are just some ideas. There is a lot of issues with trading in our game, so we need to carefully evaluate what's going to be available, what's going to be possible in the game, and based on that we may or may not do the trading.
Yeah, exactly. So
like keep in mind that the actual release of the game is going to be just another beginning, because after that we are still going to work on the game, improve it and add more features. So it's like, yeah, this is going to be the base of the game, but this is going to be something that we are going to work on or base the next work on.
Yeah, exactly. So that's about it, and I'm just going to give you a quick look at the shelter difference between those two things while I'm standing right here. So you can see it here, that it's a little bit different, and here you can see how it looks now. And maybe if you can get inside of the shelter, that we can do a second look of that. So just have a look around, just really show them what we've got. That is something that you probably already saw, and I have already finished matchmaking, so I won't be able to show you how the shelter looks right now, but you guys probably already know that because you are obviously playing the game. Yeah. So that's about it, but I'm going to jump back to work forest.
Yay! Snow everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. But without the weather changes, which is kind of sad. But yeah, you know, it's coming, and I'm really excited about it. I'm loving the weather changes. Which actually brings me to the chat. So guys, we haven't been listening to you for quite a while. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat right now. So people seem pretty excited about all of the new things that we are planning to add, which is really nice. You know, it's going to be so rewarding once we finally get it out, you know, get it off our chest, because obviously it's always really hard before big updates.
Indeed. Possibly one more thing that's going to be interesting for the people who are used to 0.5 and are looking for 0.6. As you have seen, Pyrit is changing how she looks before the game. The thing is that at the very beginning you are going to have a lot less options in 0.6, but this is something that you are going to get, for example, in the airdrop boxes, the more possibilities for having different outfits, stuff like that. Like the outfits still are going to be just cosmetics, but you would like to express yourself, so you need to go for the airdrop.
And another interesting thing that some people were asking about is if they will actually get something from the Founders Pack in the update.
Like the technology now should be in place, so it's just about finishing the assets, and most likely there's going to be the founder's hat available for you, or at least for those of you who own the founder's pack. So this is something that you are going to distinguish the founders and the people who are just going to use the trial.
Someone is asking about longer matches, which is something that we are not planning right now, you know?
Yeah, like the thing is that already mentioned that we are possibly going to add some events like during the encounters, so that may possibly make the encounters longer. Like the radiation wave is going to strike you at the same time, but currently I can see that people don't have anything to do after the airdrop is off. But if there are more things to do, they may possibly consider doing something completely different after the airdrop is off, and then going out of the encounter later.
Yeah, exactly. Which was also part of the question earlier, if we are going to add like new goals into the matches, which is something, you know, you have to keep in mind that this is really only the game preview, still working on it, and we have to finish the core loop first before we start adding anything new. Let's see. Anyway, any questions, put them in a chat right now, but meanwhile we can actually answer one of the next questions that was on our forum. So any progress on the shooting mechanics? This is the thing that we were talking about pretty much the whole stream, so obviously yes. When can we expect the next update? Has been already answered, but it never hurts to, you know, remind you guys at the end of October.
Yeah.
So that's about it. And the next question was about the Founders Pack rewards. So we already answered all of your questions, but thank you for asking Brochacho too. Thank you so much for being active on our forums.
Yeah.
Let's see. And there were actually a few questions also on our Reddit page. So when will we be getting scopes or weapon customization that's not just cosmetic in the next update?
In the next update, still keep in mind that this weapon customization is not going to be actually the customization. Like there are the weapons which are going to have the scopes, and there are different weapons which aren't going to get the scopes. Like you are not able to take the scope off or something like that, change it to something different. The customizations of the weapons are going to be purely cosmetic, like you are going to be able to change the colors of your weapons, stuff like that. So this is something that's going to be later on.
Yeah, exactly. And the next one was pretty cool, I think. Will the draw distance for player models be fixed at some point? For example, when watching someone cross an open field, you can see them disappear after what seems like not too far of a distance.
Yeah, this is something that's going to be addressed while adding the scopes, because if both the scoped weapon and the weapons that don't have scope are going to get this improvement. So we are going to see not only other players, but generally speaking, the models much further from you than you are used to. Like I play the game in public, like on daily basis, and when I have the playtest at work, the difference is so huge, like you cannot even imagine.
Yeah, exactly. It is. And the last question is something that, you know, is really not a question, but I really wanted to address this because it's not the first time I've saw it on our forum or anywhere else, or on Reddit or Twitter, anywhere, which is something like if they can get a refound. Which is something, you know, the game is still in the game preview. We try to state it as much as we can and as clearly as we can. Yes, so obviously there are still things we are working on, but the game is pretty okay as it is now. You know, we are staying up to the expectations that you should have, you know, by the description, by things we post on our social media. And if you have a problem with the game, like, you have to ask, like, your Xbox support.
Exactly.
If there's something, like, really wrong with the game.
Yeah, like, definitely, if you have an issue, please let us know. We'll try to solve it. On the other hand, if there's some issue, like technical, the best way is to contact the Microsoft support. and they are going to provide you with a refund. Like that should be pretty easy during the game preview period. Still keep in mind, if you want to try the game, just use the trial. You have 2 hours that you can spend trying the game for free,
exactly.
and then decide if you want to buy the Founders Pack or not. Or you can just wait until February when the game is going to be free to play.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you are going to give it a try and see for yourself.
Exactly. And the airdrop is already taken, so I guess that I will just try to run to the nearest escape point, which should be this way. Because I have my bag decently full.
Yeah, it's cool.
And I am going to try to run away with it, basically. So this was the last question from our Reddit and stuff like that. So if you guys have any more questions, put them in the chat right now and we are going to answer them.
Yeah.
And I'm going to skip back to just the game without a question. And once again, I'm going to show you the list of the things that we have added to the game, just so you can see. And if there's anything we haven't been talking about quite as much as we should, definitely let us know. And I'm going to open the map so you can see it a little bit better, because right now I'm at the snow map and the font that I have chosen is white, so sorry about that, guys. Anyway, let's see the questions. And I can hear the Geiger computer. This is no good.
You still have plenty of time.
Never hurts to loot something that is lying on the ground.
Yeah. Like the airdrop just landed next to you, and someone was waiting for it, obviously. It seems like it's already gone.
I have already full.
Nice, that's cool.
Yeah, really nice. I'm really excited about this. So guys, questions, put them in the chat right now. We still have some time.
Yeah. Like, just to be super clear, people who paid for the game now are going to get the Founders Pack. Like, the thing that you paid for is actually the Founders Pack. So you are the founders and you are going to get all the rewards that are mentioned with the Founders Pack. Once the game gets out as a free-to-play, which is in February, the Founders Pack's no longer going to be available for you, and there's someone running. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
To the same exit.
No. Go away, dude. Like, I really want to escape, so let me be.
Maybe it seems like the guy wanted the same.
Well, you know, but he started, you know, looking at me in the wrong way, in a really wrong way. So, but as you can see, I have quite a few things which I can probably use in the shelter, because I started a new character just before this stream, so I have pretty much nothing at my shelter. So I will check if I can improve something. Question: any more merchandise for sale in real life? Well, we are selling the Vigor shirts and t-shirts on our store. You can check it. I will put it on Twitter once again, but it's already there. So,
like, if you want different things, like for example the tomato timer, just give it a shout, and we may possibly try to get it into the shop.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, I was already talking about the video.
The shelter?
Yeah, no, I was thinking about the cooking timers. You know, the guy at Gamescom that answered what he would do with the cooking timer, and if it was like the only thing he had in the post-war Norway, and he said that he would cry, which will be my mood always. It's just so nice, you know, seeing people so spiritually close to you. And there was another guy, and he said like that he would smash someone's head with it, which is, you know, like, never tried it, but I think that it would be pretty freaking hard.
Like, poor guy and poor tomato timer.
Yes, exactly. So let's. Yeah, I wanted to see the crafting table. You were right. But I was still thinking about the crying and stuff. So. Let's see. Not enough nails, not enough metal parts. Well, that is sad. Really, really sad. But at least you can see I have been posting like the collage made out of the like concept art and the reality, like the in-game reality, which is way better in the update version.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that. Please make grenades more accessible. Well,
like currently, the fact that we have grenades in the game is more of an oversight on our side than anything else, because they are not working as they should. So currently you are not able to get them anywhere in the levels except from the boxes from the airdrop, and that's pretty random. But on the other hand, we are now trying to make the grenades better, and with that you are going to have them more widely spread.
Yes, exactly. And is there anything else you guys would love us to talk about? Because I don't know. I don't know if we forgot to tell you something.
Yeah, like there's a good question about the hunger and thirst. From our point of view, it doesn't make much of a sense to have that in Vigor, because we have different games like Daisy, which is simulating all the things like hunger, thirst, everything. Vigor is more about the long term, like rebuilding, creating something on your own, enhancing your shelter, and then eventually doing some more stuff, which is something that we are working on for the future.
I have been having a hard time getting into a game. It says looking for players. Can you play alone if there's no one around? Well, no, it's a match-based game.
Yep.
You have to play with other people, and matchmaking times shouldn't be that long, actually. I think that there is like...
It really depends on where you are from. And when you are playing, like when I try to connect early in the morning, then usually the servers are pretty much empty, and I need to wait a bit. On the other hand, that's kind of tied to number of players that we have in total currently.
Yeah, because the game is in the game preview, so obviously there are not as many players as there would be in like a full game. So you gotta understand that.
Yeah, and we kind of expect that with the update, there may be some influx of the players that already played the game, and they are going to see what's new. Like if you know about the players who already given it a try, let them wait for the update and see if the game's improved enough for them to take more time in it.
Yeah. And I see a nice question or nice idea, maybe. Can weapons be looted of can weapons that are looted of dead players have a great chance to be broken or damaged? You know, so it's not as easy to kind of like, which is cool, I think.
Like we considered that before, and there were some minor issues with that, so we may reconsider adding that eventually. Yeah, like this is something that would need a lot of changes. So yeah, like what exactly does the damage weapon mean to you? Like, are you able to deconstruct it? I would say yes. On the other hand, are you going to get all the parts from it? I don't think so. And yeah, it may be a bit misleading even in the encounters, like you have your weapon in your hands, and you try to reload it, and it's not possible. So all the things are the things that we would need to solve somehow. So yeah, we are going to reconsider the idea indeed, but yeah, it would take some time to do it properly. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You guys talked about this in the last stream, that the airdrops may contain resources like nails, glass, and stuff like that. Is that going to be in the update?
I think so. As far as I know, it's actually even there. Like in the box, you are able to get even the resources. But there's one more thing that we are going to change, and that's what are you able to get from the dead bodies, because currently it's just their weapons, but we plan to add even the possibility to get the resources that the target has gathered before. So it may be actually
really nice.
more important for you to get someone who just got some resource that you dearly need. On the other hand, you may just run around and get the resource yourself, so it's just the decision if you want to be the killer or not.
So let's see, we are slowly getting to the end of the stream. So guys, right now is the right time to ask any questions you have. And I'm sure you have a lot of questions. Yeah, and someone is once again asking about the pets. Like if you can have a dog with you or something. Which is, ooh. Okay, let's see.
Like this is something that we considered, and it would require some changes in the technology, but it may be possibly doable one time at one time. The thing is that currently our priority is to make the game better, like in the core, and then possibly building on that. So don't expect anything like that in like the next update.
Ooh. He's still behind me, which is not very nice. Is there a different
exit? Yeah, there is in the top floor. You can exit by the window.
I'm going to exit here.
Yeah, that's cool.
Good enough for me, at least.
Like, the thing is that as I'm switching between 0.5 and 0.6, I usually know exactly where the places are in 0.5, but in 0.6 it's a bit different, so it confuses me. And then in the end, even when I'm playing 0.5 with people out there, I'm somehow confused on where the exits are and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but yeah, like feel free to shoot me every now and then.
Do we know what shelter level will be unlocked, or when it will be unlocked? Actually, like more shelter levels.
Like with the update, there's going to be a higher shelter level. I think currently we are preparing up until level of 11, but I may be wrong. Like yeah, there's the switching between the versions. So yeah, I think it's up until level of 11.
Oh, I'm actually running away from one of the exit points, so I'm going to pass actually, because there are too many people. They are shooting. I don't like it.
Yeah, and you have just a sliver of health.
Yeah, exactly. So you know how it is, and I think that it's somewhere over here, right at the port. I think. Well,
yeah,
somewhere around here. So hopefully there's no one nearby.
And now to the left.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
So let's see. This way. Perfect. And leaving in 10 seconds, so hopefully no one's gonna kill me, or I can move.
You can still
faster.
use the totem, which is the thing that we are going to actually remove for 0.6.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's going to be removed. I know that we were like discussing it, but I was not aware that it's going to be removed in the 0.6. So, as you can hear, guys, so we have been already playing for quite a long time. So once again, I'm showing you the list of the things that are going to be added in the next update. So if you want to take a screenshot or something, feel free to do that right now. And thank you thank you so much, guys, for watching today's stream. If you have any more questions, put them on our Twitter forum. And do not forget to add all of the bugs and problems that you are experiencing on the forum. The best way is to also give us your gamer tag so we can look into this particular issue right away. So thank you so much one more time, and hopefully see you very soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.